buenas and half a day. Welcome to another episode of Taotaomona Tales. I'm Julian Hernandez, and sitting next to me, you may know him from the Guam Department of Education, is Sean Monforte, who is going to be telling not just one, but 3 tales that he's encountered here on island, including with Taotaomona. Hi, sir. Hello. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I guess we can just get started,
Oh,
right?
yeah, definitely. So first I wanted to ask, when you hear the word, as our name tells, Taotaomona, what does Taotaomona mean to you?
Okay, so Taotaomona means to me, the people that were here before us. So these are not people to be scared of. These are our ancestors being Chamorro. These are our ancestors. These are the people that came before us. They're when they come to you, it is to give you a warning or to give you, it's never really to harm you. I mean, sometimes if you keep messing up, they might or pinch you or something, but it's more of a warning, and they're your ancestors, so they're really never there to harm you. So with that being said, there's when you're a teenager, and I'll start with the first story. I mean, so when you're a teenager, you're kind of naughty, and we had a house. I'm not going to tell you the village, but it's next to a known area of a Taotaomona path, and like where they build laddies and stuff like that. And we were always told not to go out at night. We're play in the backyard and run around past midnight. But when your parents or the guardians who are watching you have to work at night, then you're kind of like a free child. So it's so funny because our house was the house that everybody hung out at. Everybody would come over, and then of course we would have people come over late at night and bang on our window and say, hey, come out. But this was not our house. This was our auntie's house, our Auntie Doon's house. And we were living there because she said, oh, we have a house, come and stay here, we're leaving island. And we were like, oh yeah, this will be great, it's a bigger house. So we went over there and we were staying in her house, and weird things started happening right away. I mean, you would hear like the rosary at like nighttime, and being from Guam, the rosary, how it sounds. But then when you listen to it, it's not the rosary, it was just the cadence being spoken like the rosary. It was Chamorro. I mean, like Chamorro that kind of like, not what I'm used to hearing, but it was like some real thick, like Chamorro, where I can understand some of the words, but not all of the words. And I was like, this is too late for a rosary. Rosaries don't happen at like 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. And it would happen mostly on the crescent moon. Like it wasn't even the full moon. You hear like all these ghost stories, oh, it was a full moon. But these would happen when the moon was like crescent. Right, like the beginning of the fishing seasons, and like it was like we would hear it, and it was like freaky, and we were just like, whoa, what is that? And we're alone, so we're kids, and it's not just us that heard it, it's some of our friends. So those were like some of the earlier things that happened. There was another incident, the same house, that my auntie was sick in the daytime, and she was laying on this one papasan chair. Okay, so I just dated myself. So there was a papasan chair in the living room, and she was laying on it. She was sick. She had to leave. She was an educator. She had to leave for school. She had a headache. She was laying down in there. And she saw me walk through the louvers, because we didn't have aircon back then. We had fans. I walked through the louver, and I was yelling at her in Chamorro. First off, my Chamorro's lousy. I don't speak great Chamorro. I can understand Chamorro, but even then, sometimes I don't catch everything if you're speaking too fast. So that was one of the issues. And then we would get like pinched, and we would have bruises, and we would, sometimes when we were playing out in the back, we would like get scratches and stuff that would like get infected. But we didn't take anything from it. But as I said, my guardian, my auntie, the one I was staying with, she worked at night. So we had a little boy, one of my first cousins. He was like 4 or 5 years old at the time, maybe a little bit older. And my other cousin, it would be mostly us, because at the house, and all kinds of stuff happened. Like sometimes you would hear people knock on the windows real loud, and we're like, open the windows or come outside going, hey, who's here? Because this is the house everybody hangs out at. So we'd go to the house, we'd sit there looking at them, we're looking for who's doing it, nothing's happening. So one time, me and my cousin, we were in the room, and we hear, and we're like, well, what's that? Who's that? We open up the louvers, nobody's there. So we close the louver. The next one, we're back to sleep, and somebody knocks. Open up the louver, go, hey, just come in. You need a place to crash, just come inside. And then they were like, nobody's there again. So the louver's closed. We're sitting there sleeping. Again, now it's on his side. He goes, man, somebody's messing with us. We're not thinking Taotaomona. We're just thinking somebody's messing with us. So we decide, okay, we're both football players. We're both fast. We're both strong. We're both kind of not the smartest kids in the world. So we hear the window knock again, and we break out. I go left, we run out the front door. He goes right, I go left. We meet, nobody's there. We're not done. We jump up we were young, and I'm not jumping up to grab the roof, but anymore now, but I jumped up, I grabbed the roof, I slid up, I looked on the roof, nobody was there. He runs through the jungle trying to catch whoever's playing with us, right? Because it's not funny anymore, because it's starting to get a little bit spooky, but it turned out to be nothing. So we go back into the bedroom, and we're laying down, and I go, dude, I'm gonna catch this guy. We'll catch it. And he goes, all right. And I go, man, it's gotta be my friend. I'm not gonna mention his name, he's a police officer now. So I go, it's gotta be my friend, and I guarantee it's these three guys, all law enforcement and a firefighter now. And I go, it's gotta be these three guys. And so the first knock, I pop the window open. There's nobody there. And you can't even see out the window anymore. It's just black as black can be. And dude, I looked over and I go, hey, Ramon, look. And Ray looks and he goes, I don't see anything. And I go, dude, it's all black. You can't even see the lights outside anymore. And then I turned, I looked at him, and he's like freaked out. And then I looked out the window, and now I can see the lights. And I go, dude, you didn't see that? And he goes, I saw that, man. And he grabbed his pillow and his blanket, and he goes and then he sleeps in the living room. So I'm over there, I'm like, I'm not gonna, man, I'm not a girl. I'm gonna stay in the room. And then I was like, nah, man, I'll just keep him company out there just in case something gets him, right? I want to be there, I'm there for him. I'm not scared, right? So, but we left his 5-year-old brother in there, my cousin. So we have to go get him. And we're looking at each other like, oh man, one of us got to go get him. And I go, man, I'll go get him, but don't scare me, dude. Don't scare me. He goes, okay. So I go get him, I bring him out, we put him in the living room. But from that day forward, we slept in the living room. But this isn't even the part of the Taotaomona yet. This is just some freaky things. So we tell our friends, so we get people starting to try to come over and experience things. There's weird things like knocking, and everybody heard the Chamorro words at nighttime, the cadence of the rosary, And we had one of my friends, his dad was like, you guys are so lucky to hear that, that's the Taotaomona. You guys are so lucky. And I was like, yeah, well, that's lucky, I guess, but I was like kind of freaking out over it. I was like, oh, wow, that's lucky. Okay.
How old were you?
I believe we were 15, 14, 15. We were already in high school.
So like the whole like people like, no, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I'm not scared. But that happened, and we're not sleeping in the room. Nobody's sleeping in the room. We, even, we would have these, it's back in the 80s, so we had like tin blankets and pillows on the living room floor, and the fans pointing at us, and so one day, now this is the part that starts getting freaky, and this is how come I keep saying Taotaomona is not bad. They're not scary. They shouldn't be scary. You should really think of them as your aunties and your uncles, the people of the land before you. You should, as an adult now, I do that, and believing in God, I'm going to be safe and everything else. But being a child, being a kid, and experience this, it's a different kind of like, oh no. And so we're in the house. It's late. My cousin Georgie, my little cousin George, decides, he's not little anymore, he decides that he's going to run outside. And we chase him, and we're having fun. We're chasing him down. This is like midnight, maybe like 10, 11 o'clock, right before we have to go pick up my auntie. So I'm outside, we're chasing him. He's running this way, he goes back, and he goes like, there's like this weird planter in the back of the house. Well, I don't even know if it was planter. It was a stack of rocks, right? So he runs around out there. He's everywhere. I'm over there. My cousin's over there. We're having like this weird, it was just everyday kind of thing. It was just, we were not the best kids. We were not the worst kids, but we were kind of naughty sometimes.
You were kids.
We were kids. We just had fun. And you give us an inch, we take the mile. So we get Georgie, we bring him back, we get him in the car, we drive off, we go pick up my auntie. She goes, you guys were in bed, you guys did all your homework, you guys ate, you guys did everything. George did everything. Yes, we did great, we did everything. You guys stayed inside the house. Oh, of course, we didn't go outside, we were out. Were your friends over? No, our friends weren't over. Well, they were over. Sorry, Auntie. They were over too, but they left, and that's why George was still awake, because we had friends over at the house. So now I'm probably going to get in trouble. Sorry, Auntie. I love you. And then the next morning, we get up, we're going to school. And my cousin Georgie cannot stand up.
Wow.
Period. He cannot stand up.
And how old was Georgie?
He was 5, maybe. I mean, 5 or 6, maybe. He was at Harmon Loop School, Miss Paiba. I don't know if you guys remember her. That was his teacher. He couldn't stand up. So I'm thinking he's playing around. So I pick him up, and Ray starts putting on his school clothes, and then he just starts throwing up. Coconut. He threw up straight coconut. Not like, oh, he ate kadu and there was coconut water. I mean, there's coconut, we put coconut in there. No, he threw up straight coconut. I mean, it smelled like coconut. It looked like coconut. It was just really freaky. So of course my auntie, what did you guys do to him? What did you feed him? And because she's trying to sleep, and she's like, okay, we're gonna take him to the doctor. So they take him to the doctor. Nothing. The doctor can't find anything. No fever, no nothing. So he's sick for like, I think a day or two. I don't know. It's kind of blended, maybe a little bit longer, but I'm just going to say a day or two. But it had to be a significant amount of time, because they ended up going to the Sirahanu. So they brought this Sirahanu over to the house. She was this old lady. And she comes into the house and she's doing this thing. She's burning this candle and she's praying over him, and she's rubbing him with oil, and she's rubbing his legs, and she's using the amut, and she takes this candle, and then she has this seawater in a tagwater or a bucket, like not a bucket but like a vase or something, you know, like a pot. That's what I'm trying to say, a pot. And she takes the candle and she drops it in, and the candle melts. And the candle melted to a head of a woman with a footprint. So the lady looks at it and she takes it out and she wraps it in this coconut leaf, this wax, and she tells us, so he stepped on Ancestor's head, Taotaomona's head, and you guys have to go out there throughout this time and keep apologizing and saying that you won't go out there, you won't be playing in this area anymore. You know, it's not a good place to play, you know, and you understand and you won't do it anymore. And I'm like, he's 5. I don't know how you're going to get him to do that. And then she looked right at me and she goes, no, not him, you two. And he pointed at me and my cousin, and I was like, oh my God, he's never going to walk again. I'm not going to do that. This kid is going to be walking. He's never going to, poor boy, you know. But it didn't happen that way. So he said, take this thing, put it in the wax, put it under his pillow, close the pillow up, and he sleeps on that. And you guys go over there and do it. Even if it breaks, you still keep it in there. And I don't know how long that took, but he actually started walking again, like right after. Not like that night, but like maybe the next morning or something like that. But he started walking again. He, you know, I mean, it was something that was just like really scary. But you know, looking back on it, it was just the Taotaomona telling us, hey man, you know, really have respect. Don't go out in the jungle. You know, nighttime you could get hurt. You really could have got hurt. There's a pile of rocks back there that we're playing on, you know. People could get hurt. You know, it was right next to a path. You know, being an adult, thinking of how bad we could have been hurt running around back there. I mean, it wasn't like that was our yard. It went into the jungle, into like a carabao cart path, and you know, it was you knew there was gladstones back, you know, at the, you know, so you're just like, okay, we won't. So, you know, that was kind of like the warning, but at the time it was just so surreal, thinking that, oh wow, this is real. And this is like one of my first experiences, you know, and I was like, wow, that is so crazy.
So you and your cousin Raymond apologized.
Yeah, we had to apologize. The Cirano told us to apologize.
Because I remember you saying, oh, he's never gonna walk again.
Yeah, I wasn't having it, man. I was already scared. I mean, we moved out of that house, but I've always wondered, was it only because of us? Because the people that lived there before said, yeah, you know, there was one of our family members, yeah, freaky things used to happen, and oh, this happened, and oh, did you ever hear this? And yes, we heard that. So, you know, I love you, Auntie Dune. I know you're in Texas, but you know, that house was freaky, and she sold it. I'm not going to tell where the house is, but at the same time, you know, if there was other things that happened, because I know what happened before us, and I know what happened when we were there.
And was that one of the last encounters? Because I know you said you had 2 other stories.
Oh yeah, but these are older ones. These are like, that was not even really like Taotaomona. I will tell you one more, because I know I have 3, but I'll tell you one because I was with a Navy SEAL.
Oh.
I was with a Navy SEAL. First off, when you tell me you're not scared, because you know, and he goes, oh, I'm not scared. I have respect. I don't need to be scared of the jungle. And I go, okay, well, I'll take you to a place. And he goes, no, man, I'm not scared, dude. And I go, yeah, I'll take you to this place. I'll take you to the place that I had an incident at, because I had an incident where I actually brought home somebody, and that's a freaky one, but that's kind of long. But this one is a little bit more short. So this one, he's a Navy SEAL. I think this is a great one, man. Good friend of mine. He was back here. He's not from here, but he's just a really good friend of mine. I met him through like judo and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And he goes, oh yeah, I'm not scared of these things. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I took him to an area, and he goes, bro. And I go, okay, this is Leo Palace area. And I go, bro, go over there and just look into the jungle. I mean, there's tanks over here. We're in a 4x, we're in a Nissan Pathfinder, an older one. I go, bro, go over there, look in the jungle, look at the tanks, see what you see. Because you'll see shadows, or you'll see weird stuff, man. I'm not even kidding you, dude. Go ahead. And he goes, bro, don't beep the horn on me, bro. Don't beep the horn on me. Don't leave me out here. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just telling you, man, you got to respect our lands. You got to respect the spirits of our land, because Taotaomona is our ancestors, not your ancestors. You need to have respect for our land. And he was like, yeah, I respect your land, but I don't believe in ghosts. I said, okay, so why are you afraid to get out? And he goes, because you're going to beep the horn, and you're going to leave me. I go, I'm not, I promise. Take the keys. So I gave him the keys. He gets out. He's looking over there. He doesn't see anything. He's over there. He's not looking at anything. And he goes, I don't see anything. So he gets back in the car. He goes, I didn't see anything. I go, okay, that's cool. Not every time you go ghost hunting, you're not going to find anything. Because I know every teenager goes ghost hunting. But I'm an adult now. And I said, okay, that's fine. So I get in the car, we reverse, we start driving out. He just starts doing this. And I looked at him, and I go, what's up, dude? And he goes, and I looked in the rearview mirror. We're on Leo Palace Road. And there's a Japanese soldier holding a rifle just like this in the back seat of my car.
Oh my God.
I'm looking at him in the mirror. He's looking at him in the mirror. And he's like, go, go, go. And I'm like, what? He's in the car. So he goes, stop. And I go, stop. I flipped the mirror up. I flipped up the visor, and I start driving off. And I go, I can't. I can't. I'm done. And he goes, why aren't you driving fast? And I go, dude, what am I going to do? You're going to drive fast, possibly crash, or get out of the jungle where he's at? What do you do? That's the thing. What do you do? Do you get out of the car? Do you run, or you just drive and just hope he disappears? So at the end of the day, we go to this bar and we tell people what happened. He's freaked out still. We go to this bar. Nobody believes us. So when we're leaving, we walk out. The Pathfinder's doors are open. Every one of the doors are open on this car. And I looked at him and I go, well, I'm going to go catch a ride. And I'm not even kidding you. I left that Pathfinder there for 3 days. I bought a rosary from like one of those Happy Market stores, just like any store. The one with the Jesus kind of melted on the cross. Not like a store, not one, just a rosary. I don't know, it wasn't blessed or anything, but it was like this rosary. It was a cheap one. And I bought it. I brought it over. I hung it on the mirror and I drove it home. But I never drove the car again after that. But that, again, it was another one. Don't go looking for something out in the jungle, because you possibly will find it.
Well, that's some sage advice, and I really appreciate. I know you said you had 3, but definitely that's just, like you said, the main takeaway you want to give with your story. deep dives to our culture, is that it's also a reminder that the Taotaomona is not something to be afraid of.
Right. Don't be afraid of Taotaomona. You need to respect our land. You need to respect our cultures. You need to, and if Taotaomona does come, they're either giving you some kind of warning, like, hey man, you gotta chill. You gotta respect it. Don't go running around at night. Be respectful to your neighbors. I mean, be humble. That's all you have to be. And then also remember your protocols. You got to do your you got to do your prayers. You got to do your offerings. You got to do the moral traditions. If you're going to play around and with Taotaomona, I mean, you shouldn't go looking for them. Though, but do your prayers. Do your rituals. Do your cultural rites. I mean, your cultural offerings. And Taotaomona is really there to guide you. I mean, they shouldn't be. I mean, okay, so you get slapped, but we had grandmothers, right? Grandmas slapped you too, or so you might get punished by Taotaomona, but they're your ancestors. They're showing you the way. They're showing you what's right or wrong, and that's what really comes out of all of this.
Well, thank you so much, and even to the non-believers, right? Just show respect to the land, either way.
Yep.
Because either the living or the dead will show you how to respect, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing your tales here at Taotaomona Tales.
Thank you.